Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be recapping the heartfelt and visually stunning movie called Big World from 2024. A cinematic gem that's been touching hearts and sparking conversations around the globe. This is a story about a boy who was born different but dreams just like everyone else. It's about fighting to live with dignity in a world that keeps telling him he can't. Before we start, be sure to subscribe and leave a like to support the channel. Now, buckle up. It's about to get cinematic. The story follows a young boy named Liu Chunhe, who was born with cerebral palsy. His mouth is crooked, his back hunched, and his body moves in ways he can't control. From a very young age, the young boy grew up under judgmental stares. He feels ashamed of how he looks, ashamed of how he moves. So he finds a hiding place, an old suitcase. That suitcase became more than just an object. It is his shelter, a place where he can escape the world, and even his parents. He still remembers a painful moment from childhood. One day, while hiding inside the suitcase, he overhears his parents talking. They think he has gone missing, and while looking for him, his mother says that if he ever got lost, maybe life would be easier. He is just a child, curled up in that tiny space, holding his breath. But their words cut deeper than anything. But despite his physical challenges, his mind is sharp, brilliant even. He excels in school, and on China's college entrance exam, the Gaokao, he scores over 80 points above the first-tier university cutoff. His grandmother, the one person who has stood by him all these years, is overjoyed. To celebrate his birthday and this incredible achievement, she invites her old choir friends out for dinner. Everyone at the table is stunned. They can't believe this boy with cerebral palsy has achieved something so extraordinary. His grandmother proudly tells them, just because he has cerebral palsy doesn't mean he's not smart. But even during the celebration, the boy is reminded of his limitations. He tries to blow out his birthday candles, but can't. Even drinking beer through a straw takes effort. After just a few sips, he starts choking. Calmly, his grandmother helps pat his back. She is used to it. Her friends try to act like nothing is wrong, but their glances give them away. Soon, the alcohol makes him drowsy. It is his first time drinking, and he can't stay awake. His grandmother and her friends help carry him home. But just as they reach downstairs, they run into his mother. She sees him drunk and snaps. She scolds her own mother for letting her disabled son drink. She wants him to stay home, study harder, and retake his final year. Her plan is simple: get into a college close by. But the boy's heart is set elsewhere. He dreams of being a teacher and wants to apply to normal university. But it's far from home, and his mother refuses to support it and won't pay for tuition. The next day, after his parents leaves for work, the boy sneaks out to a local tutoring center for a trial teaching session. He stands before a group of children and starts teaching. But soon, the kids begin to whisper and laugh, asking what kind of disease he has. After class, the manager tells the boy that his teaching was excellent. But then comes the soft letdown. They have to consider the children's comfort. His condition might make it hard for them to adjust. Grandma comforts him, but the boy says he's fine. He's used to this. The story shifts to a local park. Grandma is with her choir, a small group of older performers. They aren't professional, but they enjoy singing and playing instruments together. One day, a talent agency in Xi'an sees their performance online and wants to invite them on tour. The group is thrilled, but there's a problem. Their drummer quit after a disagreement, and they need a replacement quickly. As they wonder who could possibly step in, Grandma suddenly gets an idea, and everyone turns and looks at Chunhe. He's never played the drums before, but Grandma insists. On the bus ride home, they're still arguing about it. As a woman gets on with her child, the boy quickly gives up his seat, despite he himself can barely stand. At first, the woman thanks him politely, but once she sits down, she avoids his eyes and turns her baby away from him. Then the bus brakes suddenly. The boy loses balance and crashes to the floor. The driver doesn't apologize. Instead, he says bluntly that in his conditions he shouldn't take buses. Grandma is furious. She demands an apology, arguing with the driver while the other passengers start to complain about the delay. At home, the boy sits in front of his computer, typing out a 3,000-word complaint letter. His grandmother watches him and gently says that it might not change anything. But the boy answers that writing is the result. Sometimes it's not about success, it's about trying. She doesn't say anything more, but she brings up the choir again. They still need a drummer and she pleads. Finally, the boy gives in. At the next choir rehearsal, the boy picks up the drumsticks. He tries to play, but his hands won't cooperate. His movements are slow and uneven. One of the older women scoffs, saying that it will take forever for him to learn and that he's just wasting everyone's time. The old woman's sharp words spark an argument with Grandma, while Chunhe just sits there, silent and helpless. Then, out of nowhere, a frisbee lands at his feet. He looks up. A girl waves at him, asking him to throw back the frisbee. For most people, it's easy. For him, it's not. He tries to pick it up, but his body won't cooperate. She notices his struggle, walks over and picks it up herself. But instead of walking away, she turns and gives him a warm, glowing smile. The next day, the old drummer, the one who stormed off because of a disagreement, returns after hearing the group found a new drummer. Thinking it would be a professional player, he sneers when he sees the young boy. As the old man keeps mocking him, Yaya, the girl from the park, steps in and tells the boy to show them what he's got. Encouraged, he sits at the drum set and plays. The rhythm isn't perfect, but it's full of heart and strength. The old man joins in and the two go head-to-head. It ends in a tie. For the first time, the choir sees the boy in a new light, so they propose a fair duel. Both men will rehearse, then the group will vote who is the better drummer. That night, Chunhe lies in bed and dreams. In his dream, he's no longer bound by his body. He runs freely, leaps into the air, and Yaya is there, beside him laughing. As they are about to kiss, he wakes up, panicking as he realizes he's had a wet dream. His grandmother walks in, but he shoos her out and quickly stuffs the stained sheets and underwear into the washing machine. At the dinner table, the boy tells his grandmother that he wants to work at a cafe to earn money and save up for university himself. So he walks into a cafe for a job interview. The manager eyes him with clear doubt, asking him how long he can stand and how far he can walk to determine whether he is suitable for the hard work. To prove himself, the boy walks down the aisle of the cafe, doing his best impression of a waiter, calling out menu items in a loud, cheerful voice. On the other side of the window, his grandmother watches, heart in pieces. Then, the manager says bluntly that he wants to hire someone normal. The boy simply replies that he is a normal person, and one with a sharp memory. Later on, his grandmother rushes to his side, ready to console him. But this time he doesn't need it, because he got the job. Both overjoyed, they hug in the street, while grandma cries tears of joy. From that day on, Chunhe starts to build his life. Every day he practices the drums. Every day he works part-time at the cafe. And in between, he helps his grandmother's choir, teaching the elderly how to use their phones. Little by little, he finds his rhythm. Then, one day, Yaya and the choir members come visit at his house for a shared meal. Here, the young boy takes Yaya into his bedroom, where she finds a pile of poems. She's surprised to learn he wrote them, and even more surprised to find one written for her. Then, out of curiosity, Yaya asks him a very personal question: whether he can get aroused. Both of them feel awkward for a moment, but the young boy answers honestly. He says he can. He's just like any other 20-year-old adult man. He thanks her for asking because most people, like his mother, think he only eats and breathes and has no other needs. Just then, his mother arrives home and finds Yaya and the other choir members. Suspicious, she asks who Yaya is. As the young boy hesitates, his grandma quickly lies, saying Yaya is his classmate. But the young boy, tired of lying, tells her the truth. He has not been studying and doesn't want to repeat the school year. He applied to a university far from home and plans to support himself with his cafe job. The mother gets angry. She says the school won't accept him, and even if they do, no one will hire him to be a teacher with his conditions. There are already too many healthy students who get rejected.
你可以去当老师吗？
我为啥子不能嘛？
老师要站在讲台上，人家正常生都还招不过来，人家为啥子要招你这样子的啊？
The young boy is deeply hurt. He tells his mother that he didn't choose to be born this way. She gave him this life, and now she's the one who makes it harder. He's always felt deep down. She's ashamed of him. She doesn't want him to be independent or chase his dreams. She just wants to keep him close, out of sight, as if he's something to hide. That night, the boy stands on the rooftop, calling the university admissions office. He wants to ask if his disability will stop him from getting in. But it's too late. No one answers. He feels hopeless again. He's thought about giving up before. He's even written a will and testament before. But each time, Grandma would find him. Tonight is the same. She shows up beside him while the boy says he wants to get a driver's license. The grandma jokingly asks if he plans to run far away. But the boy isn't trying to run. He's thinking of ending everything. Then, something unexpected happens. His mother has given birth to a baby girl. At the hospital, when he tries to touch the baby, his mother pushes him away, telling him not to touch her. No one even told him she was pregnant. He walks home in silence, hurt and disappointed. At his job, things take another turn. The cafe starts receiving attention for hiring a disabled employee. The manager uses his condition to promote a new candy he prepared. But behind his back, the staff whisper that he was only hired for tax benefits. They talk like he can't understand just because he has cerebral palsy. Later, Chunhe meets Yaya and asks her to hang out, revealing that he doesn't want to go home. As they walk toward a museum, he tries to hold her hand, but she makes an excuse to visit the washroom and leaves him alone. He knows she's rejected him. At home, he gives Grandma the candy and asks her to give it to his mom as a gift. But she reveals that his mom can't eat it because of her blood sugar. As the grandma leaves the room, the boy starts stuffing the candy into his mouth, unwrapping one after another, and knowing it will choke him. However, Grandma arrives just in time to help him while he faints. Chunhe wakes up in the hospital, with his mother beside him, crying as she begins to talk. She tells him that his condition was caused by complications during her first delivery, and she apologizes for pushing him at the hospital the day his baby sister was born. Lying in bed, he reaches out and gently touches his mother's head. He forgives her. Later, Grandma shares something from her own past, while showing a scar on her neck. When Chunhe's mother was just a child, Grandma had to leave to find work in Tibet after her husband abandoned them for another woman. One day while running a store, some men came in and demanded money. She refused, saying it was meant for her daughter, and they attacked her with a blade. Fortunately, someone passed by to save her. She asks the boy not to resent his mother, because she never truly learned how to be a good mother. Then, at last, good news comes. Chunhe receives his admission letter from Normal University. The transportation board calls him in. They apologize for the bus driver's behavior and even give the family free bags of food. When they ask Chunhe if he wants to say anything, he speaks simply. He's afraid. Afraid that once the people who care for him are gone, what will happen to him? So all he wants is to live his life his way. Later, as he and Grandma walk together, he tells her, every strong woman deserves to be honest with herself. Then, with a smile, he offers to take her to a cafe, and from there, he'll see her off at the train station. She can go chase her own dreams, traveling around the world. And he will walk his own path bravely and freely.